folks. Welcome back to another week of Channel Control. Fortunately, BC can't be here, but we've got Matt.
That's right. I'm here. I flew in.
Flew in from.
Well, remember, I've actually been here all week because you remember last week I kind of dissolved and disappeared. I went into the Upside Down. Turns out the Upside Down in your place is actually a lot cleaner. So it's weird. It's completely upside down.
Don't tell people that. They only see one part.
Oh. It's horrifying.
God damn it.
They've got Triscuits and not Ritz crackers. I like Ritz. I like Ritz crackers. Triscuits are delicious. Bro, Triscuits with some cheese and maybe some boudin on top. Freaking gold.
Booty on top?
Boudin. Boudin. Like the New Orleans like sausage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Cajun sausage.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Dude, it's so good. Like they've got like pork and rice and stuff in there. It's freaking delicious.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. Dude, my mom growing up, she was like, she's Cajun, so like growing up, she always brought home this boudin. And it would be like saltines, cheese, and boudin, and we would just eat that over and over again. And then one day when I was in college, because boudin's pretty cheap, I got that with Triscuits. Bro, that's how I survived. That and those like super cheap 50-cent Totino's pizzas.
Oh, God.
Oh, they're horrible for you. But like when you're in college, like they're freaking amazing.
It's keeping me alive.
Yes. Dude, I got so mad the day that they stopped selling the Mexican Totino's pizza. Like, that was my favorite one. Like, it was spicy. It was delicious. It had, like, actual taste. Like, it was great. Then they got rid of it. And I'm pretty sure it's because, they ran out of, like, whatever budget they had for the peppers and spices instead. Where they were like, no. We got to go back to the generic meats. That was a little bit too ambitious, Totino's.
It's not meat.
But it was good. And also, I lived off of White Castle burgers. And
White Castle's the bomb.
Bro.
Man.
Right?
Oh.
So good. So good.
I heard that they had when I first moved down here, I heard there was a Crystal's, like, really close to here.
Yeah.
And me and the girlfriend at the time went out there, and they had shut it down.
Really?
Yeah, they were building up a Carl's Jr., I think it was, out there. And I was like, God damn it. And so I'm stuck to having store-bought frozen White Castles.
They're not bad.
It's
They're not
bad
horrible.
if you make it right.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough about food and college and all that stuff. We'll hear a little bit from BC later on. But let's get on with Channel Control. And our first show up is Happy.
You know what? I love Happy. And the reason why I love Happy is because I, too, am happy because last night I won the UGF Presents the Men NFL Classic. I'm just saying. I'm pretty happy about that. The trophy's not here; it's getting engraved, but like it's great.
Yeah,
so
cool,
happy.
Huh?
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Yeah,
you won.
I did.
You beat everybody.
I did. Well, I outlasted everybody because I didn't actually beat
heard
everybody.
I didn't watch the last game, but I can always go on Twitch.
You can go to youtube.com/Cinelinks. You can also go to facebook.com/Cinelinks to watch it.
Yeah, but I've heard a lot of the other players saying that last game was sick.
Oh, yeah.
It was just so many ups and downs. Well, the last two games, wasn't it?
Yeah. The last two episodes were insane. They were so good. Pretty much every game that Brodenheim played was down to the wire and was just absolutely crazy good. Okay. But yeah, that last one, I honestly I think that one was the game of the tournament, and it should be. It was the finals. It was fan-frickin-tastic.
All right.
Yeah.
So
anyway, now let's get back to TV show.
But that's not the happy we're talking about. He was talking about Matt being happy.
I am happy.
But there's a TV show called Happy on the Sci-Fi Channel. And
I also love that show, too.
It is good.
It is.
It's not over the top this. It's not magnificent or glory. It's a good show. Patton Oswalt is happy. The little Pegasus unicorn imaginary friend.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't watch all of it. I still have 2 episodes. The last 2 episodes ago. It was 8 episodes out so far.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
Because they're running it. I think it's currently running next to Magicians. I want to say on Sci-Fi Network. But yeah, it's a great show. It's different too, and that's what I love about sci-fi shows right now. Is that they're like pushing the envelope to give us new original programming, and that's what Happy is. And you've got these two pretty great actors. I mean, Patton Oswalt's always amazing, and for him to be voicing an imaginary friend is freaking hilarious.
He is an imaginary friend.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like if I like could go back and think of the imaginary friends I had growing up, I would want them to have the voice of Patton Oswalt. And then I always cannot remember the Law and Order guy's name.
Chris Maloney.
Chris Maloney. I wanted to say like Dylan Maloney or something like that. Okay, no, but he's awesome as like a crazy like. It's hard.
Ex-cop turned hitman.
Yeah,
and he's just this cynical asshole that you just want to hate. But there's something about him that you're almost forced to like.
Yeah.
About him because he is doing the right thing. He's just doing it his way.
Right. And that's and we've seen so far in like television shows that we like those characters. We like characters that are not necessarily great guys. Like if they're down to earth humans who are just like trying to get by and will just take any means necessary. And we love that sort of like negative extreme to where you're the anti-hero. Mm-hmm. And then you've got Patton Oswalt to kind of like balance him out as Happy.
Yeah. And I mean, okay, as far as watching the show, I say it's a watch.
Yeah.
You need to watch this show.
For sure.
Happy, great show. Watch it. It's been renewed for season 2, so you can go online or on demand on Sci-Fi or whatever cable network you have and watch the entire season of Happy that they have.
And knowing Sci-Fi, they typically put their shows up on Netflix shortly after.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you if you want to binge it, it should be up on Netflix like right after the season's over. Not right after because it's not like the CW, but I feel like it'll be a few months after the season finishes.
Okay, so our next show up is Lucifer. And
oh yes.
Honestly, I've watched 2 episodes this season, but BC has been watching it, so let's hear from him on what's going on in Lucifer.
So dope.
Yo, Lucifer has been killing it this season, man. I'm really enjoying it. Lucifer is always consistently in like my top 3 favorite shows of the week. I've really enjoyed everything they've done with the series from the beginning. I don't understand they're probably already doing it, Matt and Rob, the detective thing. I don't get it. I don't know where it's from. Over my, but I've really enjoyed Lucifer. I think it's great. This season they introduced Cain of Cain and Abel, who killed his brother, Bible, being played by none other than Superman himself, Tom Welling, who now I see why he didn't show back up as Superman in Supergirl. But still, dude looks like Superman still. Like he is jacked beyond belief now. And I would totally have bought him more of Superman than I did the other little scrawny tiny Superman that they had. So, but that's not important. What's important is Lucifer has been killing it. Lucifer is now trying to find a way to help Cain in his life because Cain can't die. He's every time he dies, he comes back to life. And he has to feel the pain. He deals with everything. He's been alive since the beginning. So Lucifer's out there now. He's going to try and help him. This last episode was hilarious. They had to go undercover as a married couple. The two of them did, and it's good, man. The humor on this show hits so well, and it's just really fun. It's a different take on the superhero genre, if you can call it a superhero. It is a comic book, but either way. Not as much Trixie this season. I really enjoyed the dynamic of seeing Trixie and Maze, the little kid, and Lucifer's like #1 assassin. They were always really funny together. So then you got the doctor falling in love with Lucifer's brother, and Maze is getting all disappointed and mad about that because she's got feelings for him still. And it's just, man, it's a fun show. It really is. It's well written, well done. Where it's going to go, I don't exactly know, but I do know that I like where it goes. I like where it is going. I like what's going on with it. So if you're not watching Lucifer, you definitely need to catch up on it.
All right. Well, hey, yeah. Thank you, BC, for that.
Look, I like what he had to say, but it almost makes me want to go back and start, rewatching all of it. But honestly, I don't know. I was just so beat down by that show.
Yeah, it's reached the Gotham phase for me,
Sure,
where I watch an episode and it's good, and then I watch another episode and it's like,
yeah,
and then I don't watch anymore.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about Fox is that I think all their shows are on Hulu and also on their Fox Now app sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it doesn't make it really easy to binge. I almost want it to be on Netflix so that way I could watch it easier.
Oh, well, you can go on Hulu and watch all the episodes.
Can you watch all of them on Hulu?
Yeah, you can get all of them.
Because I thought it was the last 5 episodes.
No, they do that with some shows. I don't know why. The last time I was on there, they had all the episodes for you to watch. From beginning of the season up to whatever they are now, 11, 12, whatever it is. But yeah, they're all there. So you can binge watch them. But I know what you're talking about, because a lot of those Fox shows on Hulu or wherever they have it, they give you 5.
Yes. Yeah.
And when a new episode comes in, they push out the first one,
right.
Or whatever it is.
Clearly, I did a lot of research when I brought this thing up. Speaking of Fox shows, it's really interesting how their programming schedule is going right now. Because we talked about how The Gifted, they went off and, they did their, mid-winter finale sort of thing, and then they came back for 3 episodes in January, or I think it was just 2.
Yeah.
But they did that with other shows too, like The Last Man on Earth. They came back for 1 episode or 2 episodes, and then they haven't had a single new episode in weeks. And it's the same thing with Family Guy and all these other ones. And I'm like, what the hell is going on with Fox? Why do they just come out and they're like, hey guys, here are a couple more episodes, and then they're like, yeah, just hold off. Okay, here we go.
See, I like when I was a kid and watching TV, and when Christmas came around, TV shows went up to 2 weeks before Christmas, and then it was we're done here. We're going to show all our Christmas specials and this,
sure,
and all our other filler stuff for the holiday season,
right?
And then the week after New Year's, after they do all their parade stuff and this and that, the shows were back on.
Yeah.
And we finished off our seasons. Now it's they go into the mid-season finales, and TV gets jacked up for 3 months.
Dude, no, yeah, right. That's exactly what happens.
It's not just Fox. It's all over.
You're right. You're 100% right. I almost feel like most of these networks are just kind of flying by the seat of their pants. And they're like, guys, we got to make it to sweeps. All right, where are we at with our schedule? Bro, this show's not going to make it to sweeps. Hold off. They'll survive. And you're just really? No, I want to watch
I want to
TV.
watch the show.
Come on. Why? If you're not going to come back until February, don't show me 2 episodes in June or January.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them. I'll wait till February. If you're telling me that there's going to be 6 weeks before a new episode comes out, cool. I'm on board. I totally understand. But you come up with 2 to tease me, and then you're just going to go away for a little while? Just that annoys the crap out of me.
Yeah, I hear you. But I think things should normalize after the Super Bowl or the week after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but Fox isn't affected by the Super Bowl.
Well, it's just TV. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking in their offices. I'm just a guy just sitting there on YouTube saying, watch this TV show. With no sponsorship from these And
on this episode of Channel Control, Matt, a.k.a. Quad C, just really beleaguers and fatigues Rob with this argument about late shows.
Let's move on to Runaways. Runaways was good, but it wasn't good. And I don't know how to explain that.
I'm still waiting for the last episode. And that should explain to you how this series was. Because, when we introduced Runaways, I talked about how I was a big fan of the comic book series. The problem with this show was that they slow burned it way too much. They didn't get to the point. They didn't get to them traveling, to doing stuff. And at the end of this season, that's where they finally were starting to head toward, was there, okay, now we're on the run, now we're going. We just spent 10 episodes being here, dealing with our parents, and learning who the antagonists are. Okay, now let's go ahead and start heading out. But I'm still waiting for that last episode because I feel like there wasn't a big, like, cliff. There wasn't a big, like, what's going to happen in season 2 sort of deal. It was just almost like season 10 happened and all right, we're just going to have to wait. Or episode 10 happened. All right, cool. So that was the last episode of season 1. Great.
Yeah. Like you said, the whole slow burn thing, that's what kind of killed the show for me.
Yeah.
I was just waiting like, the hell y'all gonna run away?
Yeah. And like they tried to throw in like these certain like little, I guess, side plots to, be the runaways part of it. Like, they always pick up runaways and that's who they sacrifice. And I'm like, okay, pump the brakes there. Those guys are about to go on the run. They're the runaways. Like, let's just hurry up and get to this.
Yeah, let's get to the whole running away part.
Yeah. Like, I don't feel like there was a big conflict the entire time.
It's not like, okay, you said in the comics they were like, oh God, our parents are bad. We may get killed by them because these are horrible people.
They were scared.
We need to leave.
They were terrified of their parents.
In the TV show, they're like investigating all this stuff about their parents. There's almost no fear of their parents. There's more like suspicion and what do we need to find out about them to do what with? Are we going to the cops? Are we going to the FBI? What's going on? Right.
Granted, they did care, like in the comics, they do some investigation of their parents. They want to find out what the hell's going on because they are parents. I mean, it makes sense. But at the same time, like when they found out, like it was like they witnessed a murder, essentially. They witnessed their parents, who they looked up to, murdering someone else. And it was a terrifying situation. So they went on the run. They were like, we can't deal with this, And I feel like they didn't do that quick enough. And like they didn't get to the point with people like learning what their true powers were. And whenever they did, it was just kind of sudden, like, oh, we know what our powers are. Here you go. Blast. And so there wasn't a lot of like R&D with people trying to like discover what their powers were and stuff like that. It was just kind of like, we have our powers, here you go. Like I feel like the most R&D that they did was and I can't remember her name right now, but the sorceress's daughter, whenever she had the staff, like she did the most R&D. Well, her and the kid that has the beast powers, like they were the ones that did the most. But whenever you had the alien take off her bracelet and suddenly she's glowing and now she can use her glowing powers, you're like, wait a second, hold up. When'd you learn to do that? Yeah. Like it's weird because like even the second volume of Runaways introduced vampires. And this one didn't do it at all. So that's why I was a little thrown off by like how sudden, or not how sudden, but how slow they took this series.
Another thing with the Runaways that bothered me, and I'll say this then, we'll just get off of that and go to the next show, but is when Alex got saved by his father.
Yeah.
His boy comes in, grabs his kid, they've got him at gunpoint, taking him somewhere. Dad happens to come in and, stop everything, stop from being kidnapped, and he's got his son back, and then he says, go get in the bus and go home. What?
Yeah. No.
Your kid just got kidnapped and was going to be used as a ransom for you to give your old boy you screwed over years ago, had him take a rap for you, and then you just say, oh, fuck him.
Yeah. And you're just like, go ahead and go. You're good.
Okay.
All right.
No, there's some stuff I got to deal with. Take the bus home. I got to go wait for a bus to show up. Someone could come grab me. Father, take me home. So, yeah, I had a little problem with that, but, I still kept watching the show, and let's just go into Altered Carbon.
Now, this is a show that is not slow burning at all. Well, it is in a way, but, like, it's enthralling what you're experiencing versus Runaways, where it's just like teen angst. This one is like, holy crap, this is this amazing expanded universe that I want to discover, I want to explore, I want to know more about.
I mean, they give you little things. It starts out with these people just washing blood off of each other. I guess they're obviously lovers.
Bro, I was so thrown off by the beginning of this show. Like, now I'm 6 episodes in, and I feel like I have a good grasp of it. But, like, yeah, this first episode was great.
Yeah, and then these, I don't know what they are, hunters, officers, whatever they are, people in body armor and special helmets with infrared, whatever, come in, and they're shooting up the whole place. And then we jump. Stuff happens, then we jump 250 years later.
Yeah. Where he's finally revived.
Where a guy who was killed before in the beginning is being revived. And that's how this future is. And
which, by the way,
basically immortal.
I love how this guy is, he's an Asian guy who turns into Joel Kinnaman, a big-ass white guy. And, like, the entire time I was waiting for someone to tell me that, like, this is whitewashing. Because, like, he went, like, if you look at it, he goes, his body that he grew up in was Asian. Then he goes to another Asian sleeve, which is what they're calling bodies or sleeves, because you have a chip in your back that's called a stack, which is like an ancient device that keeps your memories, your personality, everything that you are, is in the stack. If this gets destroyed, you're like, you get the true death. Well, that's what they call it. It's like you're just straight up dead. So he gets to put into another Asian guy. And now he's in Joel Kinnaman. It's hilarious to me.
And when he first looked at his reflection, you saw his original face.
Right.
And then the new face just comes,
Yep. Yep, he is.
It'll say, you're gone.
Yep.
You're removed from this story. Now, you say you're 6-7 episodes in.
I'm on episode 7.
I'm only starting episode 2 because I was doing a lot of shit last night. But the show is good.
I love it.
When I talked about Bright and the whole futuristic cyberpunk type world that is, this is what this is to me. Which is take out all the the orcs and all that shit. But the whole futuristic thing, the visuals for the show are magnificent. When they show stuff like the cities, and all that, I'm like, oh.
Well,
man.
the thing, it's reminiscent of American Gods in a way. And the way you look at it, like it kind of reminds me of American Gods, just the way certain like features are and certain like patterns and rhythms of like, especially the opening scene. Oh, not the opening scene, the opening theme. Like it just feels like American Gods. But then you watch the show and it's Blade Runner. It is like Blade Runner, but without the replicants. Like we are just straight up in a world that. It's essentially like everyone's a replicant in a way.
Yep, but pretty much.
Yeah.
Like you said, like that disc, that's you. All this whole body that we have, as they call it, a sleeve.
Yes.
It's just holding that disc. So,
yeah,
the whole replicant, everyone's a replicant. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Now, he's been awakened for a mission. One guy woke him up.
Bancroft.
To solve his murder.
Yeah, and that's a really cool thing. Like, and look, and I know a lot of people will have read the books, or the first novel, and will know what all is going on. But if you haven't, and this is your first experience with Altered Carbon, then we'll teach you what's going on. So there's it's really cool how they're able to do this, because the whole plot is that death is not necessarily a factor.
Yeah.
Unless you get shot here. Or if you get blown up with an energy weapon.
Weapon to the head.
Yeah, you're good. Like, you can get shot all over and you'll be fine. So they've somehow eliminated death as a factor, but it makes the story that much more thrilling to watch. Because you've got this billionaire in Bancroft who is basically like saying, look, someone tried to kill me and someone tried to take out my backup. Which is another kind of funny thing that you have like backups. Your memory is a hard drive essentially, and you're backing it up constantly. So he's like, took out I was trying to take that out before I could, back up. And so I've got 48 hours that I don't remember. So I need you to figure out what the hell's going on. So that's his whole point of the story. Is his mission is to try and figure this out, discover who the killer is, but at the same time, try to gain his own freedom by doing it, and also like discovering this new world that he lives in. And what's so interesting about it is that the chips, the little like the stack, they've caused a whole different political discussion, a whole different religious discussion, where you have other people who are like, wait a second, I'm in my true body. This whole stack thing is against my religion.
Yeah, it's an abomination to mankind and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it creates that. And then other people too, as far as the pay scale, the economic pay scale of it, is that like, you've got these billionaires who can keep the same body going over and over with new features, by the way, which I think is hilarious that you've got certain features. And then
my next body, I want a bigger dick.
You can do that. Like, if you have enough money, you can do that. And then there's like other people who you see in the first episode, like this little 7-year-old girl was supposed to get like a 7-year-old girl's body, and she gets put in the body of a middle-aged woman.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh, well, that's the only body that's the only sleeve we had available.
Yeah, because children under a certain age, they get a free sleeve.
Yeah.
But it's whatever they have.
Yeah.
So she could have been, this 7-year-old girl could end up being like a freaking 90-year-old man.
Yes.
It's like, hey, you don't like it? Pay for a new one. Get an upgrade. Get out.
Yeah. It's crazy. And I just love it. I love how they've done it. I love how someone gets shot and they're like, why are you healing them? Like, why don't you just buy them a new sleeve? Like your body doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
Like, I love it. It's so great. And then there's also the virtual reality part of it all. Mm-hmm. So
and the one where Korvax was having a fight with some other guy looking for him.
Yeah.
And before he dies, the guy says, all right, well, I know that for next time.
Yeah.
Look out. And then he gets plastered. And you find out that the guy is doing something that they call double stacking, where he has 2 chips in there, or it's like one in him and one in another body somewhere else. So the penalty for that is your true death. So if they ever track you down and find both of them, you're gone. You're dead.
Yep.
And they have black market sleeves.
Yep. It's great.
Wow.
It is. And I also love, and look, we're talking about the world. The world's great, but also the characters are fantastic. I love the cop that is investigating Joel Kinnaman's character, Kovash. I simply adore Poe. I love that character. He's the AI who controls the hotel.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't know the name, but yeah, I remember now.
He's just great. And what's so funny is that they're like, no one stays at AI hotels because they start acting like you're stalkers, okay? And it's just this lonely AI who's like, I'll do whatever you want. Please come stay. Please, I'll do whatever. Like, I'm here for you.
And after the massacre in the hotel,
yeah,
they're like, why didn't you do this? Like, we have full guest protection services.
Yeah.
This has been our first guest in 2 decades.
No. 5 decades.
Oh, it was 5?
He hasn't had a guest in 50 years.
He's protecting the shit out of him.
Oh, yeah. It's great. And Joel Kinnaman is getting shot up or is in a fight with these, like, assassins. And the entire time, Poe's like, for all guest services, please touch the touchpad. You've got 30 seconds to do that. 10 seconds. And finally he touches it. He's like, cool. And then it's just this Gatling gun comes down and just starts blowing everybody up. It's so great.
Freaking laser guided Gatling guns. And yeah, so this is, if you're into sci-fi, Blade Runner, futuristic, cyberpunk societies, dystopian futures, whatever, this is a good show for you.
It's weird to say, and people may like scoff at this, but it's got like a sort of Mad Max feel to it. Like Mad Max in the future. Like it's not like this post-apocalyptic Australia.
Yeah.
But if Mad Max was being put into like into Blade Runner. Like, it almost kind of feels like that in a way.
Yeah. I mean, Korvac is a kind of guy who's, before he was labeled as a terrorist, and now he's this kind of like a souped up private investigator for this one guy.
Yes.
Because they put certain things into his like stack.
Yeah.
So certain training. So, I mean, yeah, I guess maybe you could say Mad Max, just not as feral and you got water.
No, but I'm just talking about
water.
Yeah. what I'm talking about more so is the character work. Like Joel Kinnaman's character. Like, kind of reminds me a little bit of a Mad Max sort of way, where he's just like, I don't want to help any of you people.
I just want to live my life.
Yeah, I just want to live my life. I just want freedom. I want to be left alone. And that's kind of a big thing for him, is that he wants to be left alone. And then finally he decides to take the job and just do it. But he doesn't do it, like, graciously. He's kind of just, like, begrudgingly doing it the entire time. So that's the only, like, I guess, similarity I throw in there.
Yeah,
but
well, basically, it's like the very first show we talked about, Happy, with Kristen Maloney.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
It's just the same kind of. I don't want to do this. I want to be left alone. I'm fucking dying. I got a bad heart. I just want to drink, smoke, and bang hookers. And well, you have the character in Altered Carbon who's, like you said, I want to be free. I want to be left alone. I want to sit in my memories of my past love.
You know, what's another interesting thing about Altered Carbon too is that they really like do a lot with sex scenes.
I'm good with that,
bro. Like, you'll see it later, but like they get into it.
Okay,
like, there are two scenes like where it's basically like softcore porn.
Oh, goody.
Yeah.
That's what I like. I already seen a whole bunch of boobies. I like boobies. Put more shows on TV with boobies in them.
It's crazy though. Like, it's amazing that Netflix, they can get so balls to the wall with their shows, and it's like they'll have like a cartoon where it's like happy, fun, all this stuff, and then there's just like hardcore sex and fighting and blood and destruction. Like, it's just crazy. You can get anything on Netflix.
Yeah, you basically can.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen so many stories about hot racy shows on Netflix, and like, yeah, well, okay, whatever. I watch them all, but whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. And I like most of the Netflix original shows. Like, I think they're all pretty good. I can't get into the whole She's Gotta Have It though. Like, I haven't been able to get into that show.
She's Gotta Have It.
Yeah, it's like Spike Lee's like show that he did for them.
Yeah.
I tried, but I was like, man, I hate this woman. I can't connect to her. And then like Alex and I tried the other show that you told her that she was not black for not liking it.
Dear White People?
Dear White People. Yeah, she hates that show.
Yeah, that should go to hell.
You want to tell her that?
But in a good way.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, you shouldn't say that.
Sorry about talking about your wife now.
Yeah, you know.
He's like, dude, I'm right here.
Yeah. It's gonna be a little red splatter on this decoration here after this show's done.
Yeah, man. I'm double stacked, so I'm good. All right, so let's close this show out because we've actually gone a bit over.
That's usually
but it's
how
not
we
too
do.
bad.
Yeah,
it's all right.
Yeah, that's a great thing. We get to talk about TV shows, talk about our lives for a little bit too. Like, I was actually going to talk about how I ripped my pants and I didn't even know about it for a couple days. So that was fun.
That will be a topic for another show.
Sure, maybe next week.
All right.
Yeah.
BC, tell the folks where they can find you.
All right, guys, don't forget to find me on all social media at RealJackassBC, RealJackassBC. Works on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Stardust, anywhere you want. It Is What It Is out right now. This most recent episode has Jason the X on there. We are talking the history of the Black Panther. Rob is going to join me sometime this week to talk Black Panther, or sometime this month to talk Black Panther. I got my buddy Chris Lemche coming up on the next episode. The Jackass and Black Ass hanging out again, man. So don't forget to check out. It is a Black Panther month. So dope. So excited. And also, I guess that's it, really. I don't have another also. But, catch me wherever you need.
All right, and that was BC and his little bit, and Matt.
Oh, yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Move the Joystick. You can also find me on UGF. What the Force podcast, this show, and Cinelinx. Cinelinx, I'm there a lot.
All right, and you can find me. Well, if you're watching me, you found me.
Wow.
No,
That was terrible.
Too much?
That was bad.
cringy as fuck.
That was gross.
Oh, okay.
You need a porn stash for that.
It
bad.
don't. That makes it creepy.
It's like, I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, that's how people are gonna picture it. They're gonna watch it and just be like, porn stash.
Channel Control on Twitter, Channel Control TV on YouTube and Instagram. And that's where you can find me. And that's the end of this show. I got houses to go look at and things to do and rent to pay. So.
Speaking about mustaches, by the way, like, no?
No.
Okay.
No. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.